In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. Genefran emifiot nemibshiri nembib nevma is oweb enoti in oot Amen. Today we're going to talk about lesson 8 in the Coptic language. Remember this group, we don't have to know what the letter sounds like. We only have to know what the letter look like and how to write it down and its name. So if I say what a letter sounds like, it's only for you if you want to know. If you don't want to know it, that's totally fine. So the first letter we have is B or B. It looks like two vertical sticks and a horizontal stick on top of them. It's pronounced as B, like an English letter B, exactly like an English letter B. So if you see B in a Coptic word, just think of yourself seeing an English B. And it looks, remember, like it looks like a gate of some sort. Next we have epsilon. Epsilon can be pronounced multiple ways. I'm not going to tell you about them, so don't really try to confuse yourself. The capital epsilon looks like basically like a tree. So there is like the soil, and then we have the trunk of the tree, and then we have the branches of the tree. Okay, so that's how we draw or write the capital epsilon. As for the lowercase epsilon, it's basically like a small ribbon. So basically it looks like this. Next we have Fei or Phi. I know it looks a little bit hard to draw, but pay attention. I'm gonna draw it for you so it doesn't look as difficult. So first you start off with basically a letter I. Okay. Excuse me, I'm having a little bit of issue here. Let me try again. So basically you pretend you're drawing a letter I. Okay. So this is an English letter I. And in the middle, draw an extra dash. So now you have a letter I with a dash in the middle. All that is left now is basically pretend you're drawing a circle around it. So here is our circle. Here is our circle. And there you go. I know it doesn't look as good because I'm not using an actual pen and paper, but this is the idea. There is a letter I, and you split it in half, and then you draw a circle, except that you don't close it all the way. It's pronounced like an English letter F. So if you see Fei or Fi in a Coptic word, basically think of yourself seeing an English letter F. The last letter we have for today is Epsi. Again, you don't have to know its pronunciation, but it sounds like ps. So basically, if you're trying to uh, get someone's attention without anyone noticing, you're like saying ps, ps. Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. Ps. So if you see in a Coptic word, you literally say ps, psalterion, psalmos. Okay. Again, it's the way you draw it is very similar to how you draw the letter Fei or Fi. You basically start with an English I, like this, and then you split it in half with a dash, and from there you basically draw a U with two extra like coils at the sides. So you have the letter U like this, and then you add the coils to the side. Of course, it's not going to be as bad as this when you do it with a pencil and paper, but now you get an idea. It's basically an English I. You split it in half with a dash, and then you write an English U around it with two coils at the sides. Now we get to the quiz of this week. Again, like last time, you have to name each letter and what it sounds like. Uh, Again, if there is a letter that we haven't learned what it sounds like, don't worry about it. Just make sure you know how to write down each of these letters and what they sound like if we learn them. Please post your answers in the comment, and on the next video I am going to post the answers for the quiz of this video, and so on and so forth. So here are the answers. As you can see, the first letter we had is May, and it sounds like an English M. The second letter is Ro, and it sounds like an English R. Third letter we have K, and you don't really need to know what it sounds like because it has like four sounds and they have different conditions. You don't have to know it now. Next we have Ghamma. Again, you don't have to know what it sounds like. After that, we have so. It's the only number in the Coptic letter, and it's number 6. And when you see it in a sentence, you just say so. That's how you read it. Then finally, we have T. Again, it sounds like T, and don't confuse it with Stav, which basically sounds like an English. Excuse me. One sec. It's a stav, and it it sounds like an English letter T. So when you see an English letter T, you say T. But this T right here, it sounds like T. Like when you see it in a Coptic word, you say T. If you see this in a Coptic word, you say T. Again, thank you so much for listening. Please, guys, make sure you pray every day and pray that God have mercy on us and save us from the disease and lift up the disease and the pandemic from the world.